guys, what's up? And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about just some tips I have for young artists and anyone who is wanting to learn more about drawing and improving their skills and just stuff like that. I know that I do have a lot of younger people watching my videos, and I know a lot of younger people who like to draw, and I cannot tell you how many times I've had people, you know, tell me I suck at drawing or I'm terrible at drawing, and it's like, no, you don't suck at drawing. You aren't terrible at drawing. Your artwork is amazing. And the reason why I'm making this video is so that you guys will see that your artwork is actually really awesome. So if you are a younger artist, or you just are totally new to art, or I don't know, then hopefully this video will be helpful. My first tip that I have is, if you are just starting out art, or if you are younger, whatever, just use the supplies that you have currently. I will watch like professional artists' videos, like a lot of times they use Copic markers, and I've seen so many comments from like 9-year-olds being like, well, I want to buy some, does anyone know where I can get them for really cheap? And the thing is, you know, I'm not saying that 9-year-olds can't draw well or they can't use those types of mediums, but I'm just saying that when you're that young and you probably don't have that much money, try to avoid spending it all on that type of thing, because the thing is, having those markers won't necessarily make you a better artist. In fact, they won't. They might, you know, make your drawings look cool because they are nice markers and I really like how they look, but they're not going to make you be this amazing artist. You know, you can still, your artwork is, if you draw it with a pencil or a pen, it's gonna look more or less the same. So just look through your art supplies at home. You know, I have a lot of siblings, so over the years we've gotten a lot of art supplies, just crayons, pencils, markers, and they might not be the best quality, but you can still draw with them. I've recently been using a lot more colored pencils, which I honestly never thought that I would be using many of them. These are just like Crayola ones, so they aren't even that high quality, but I've been using them because my markers are starting to run out of ink, so I need to get them filled up. But before I do that, while I wait to do that, I just have been using pencils, and they're actually really cool to use. You can do a lot of different stuff with them, and they're really cheap too. You don't need to get the most expensive ones. And this is no way trying to bash the expensive ones. I'm just saying that, you know, before you go out and buy something, make sure that you actually like doing it or you like using it. My next tip is use drawing references. These have helped me so much, and I don't understand why anybody would not want to use them, because they are so helpful. I cannot even begin to explain how helpful they have been. So basically what they are is just a picture of whatever you're wanting to draw. So for instance, this is just a bunch of different like positions. So if you want to draw somebody in that position, you can see kind of what it looks like. Here's some of people standing up, and you can find a bunch of these on Pinterest. If you go to my Pinterest, actually, on my artboard, I have a bunch of them. They are so helpful, and I use them all the time. They're free, they're there, and they're great to use. You can also, you know, if you don't want to use specifically those types, you can also just use a picture. For instance, maybe you really want to draw Dan and Phil. You could just use this picture of them. Just look at them. Here, let me find a better one. Actually, this book has a lot of things that'd be really cool to draw. Oh dear. Okay, now I can't find it. Here we go. Now I can't find it. Here we go. So let's say you want to draw a close-up of Dan and Phil's face. There you go. Now you can see exactly what they look like, and you can get it right. A mistake I made when I was first starting to draw and get into it is not actually using a picture of something or not looking at something, and I went to like a drawing class, and one of the main things that they taught in this class was just looking at something and just drawing it, making sure you look at it and just draw what it looks like. Don't worry about what you can't see. For instance, this cylinder. This is actually a bowl for my fish. I put him in here when I'm cleaning his tank out, or bowl. Anyway, so look at this bowl, okay? You know, you can't see everything. You can't really see, you know, the top part of it. However, you can see like there's light right here. This will be a really good thing to draw. And it gets a little bit darker right here, and then there's a little bit of light right there. So just really look at something and just see where all the lighting is. It's just a really good thing to do. A lot of times when you're drawing, you don't really think about just how something looks different than how you think it would look, if that makes sense. For instance, just because something maybe you know is round, maybe you know that an apple is like round. However, if you actually look at an apple, you're gonna see that there's other parts of it too. There's more shading, there's light sides, and it doesn't always look round in pictures. So hopefully that made sense. My next tip is talk to other artists or people who like to draw and see what they do. So I have pretty much been self-taught. I mean, I just learned how to draw myself. It's not like anybody really taught me. And I think that's one of the best ways to learn, because then you really get a look at your style. And I don't think it's very good to be constantly telling someone what to draw. Now, this is not trying to say that I don't think classes are helpful. I think classes are very helpful. However, you want to make sure that you're drawing because you like doing it and you're drawing what you want to draw. So talking to other artists and other people who draw is a really great idea, because then you see their style, some of their techniques, and you can kind of combine them into yours. Obviously the techniques, not their style. Don't steal their style. But yeah. My next tip applies for anybody. So this applies to pretty much everybody, and it's this pen. This is a Jelly Roll white pen. You can buy this at Walmart, Target, the dollar store, I don't know. Otherwise you can probably find it online. I got a pack of 3 of these for like $6, so that's pretty good, you know. I mean, I consider that expensive, but that's because like I'm a total cheapskate. But anyway, what this pen does is it's white, so when you draw on something, it comes out as white. So not only can you add like details to your pictures if you want to, you can also erase stuff if you need to. I realize that it doesn't work the same exact as an eraser. However, let me just show you. Let's say I wanted to fix the hand right there because I suck at hands. Okay, let's say I wanted to fix Yurio's hand. I could just take the cap of the marker off and I could just draw over kind of where I want to fix it. So as you can see, there's that little white spot where I drew over it. Now, like I said, this doesn't completely erase the thing, and you know, you should be careful that you don't make those mistakes before you ink your picture, or after you ink your picture. But if you need to, this is a really good thing. I would definitely recommend this pen for anybody, and there are other brands I'm sure that make these same type of pens, so it doesn't have to be the Jelly Roll brand, but this one is just the one that I've always used. So another tip I have that has been really helpful for me is if you draw something and you don't really like it but you want it to be different. Let's say, for instance, this happened a couple years ago. I am in 4-H, so I enter stuff in the fair, and I was drawing a picture of Sherlock. And I finished drawing it, and it just wasn't right. It didn't really look how I wanted it to be. So what I did is I just redrew the whole thing. I kept the same picture, but I just drew the picture again. And then I just kept redrawing it. It takes a while, and it can get kind of boring because drawing the same thing over and over again can get a little bit boring. However, after like 4 pictures, I finally had one that I like. If you keep doing something over and over again, for instance, playing a game or writing or singing or playing an instrument, you're gonna get better at it, and that's the same way with art. The more you do something, even if it's the same thing. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get. And it's just amazing how that works. It's like, wow, I never even realized that that could be possible, like that. You know, it's weird because at the time when you're drawing something, you don't really think that it could get better. Like, I mean, it's not that you think it's the best thing ever, but you think that you couldn't draw better than that. But then when you keep redrawing it and you look back, you're like, wow, I can't believe I actually, like, am able to draw better than this. Like, looking back at your old artwork. If you're ever feeling bad about something that you recently drew, look at your artwork from like 3 years ago and you will probably cringe. That's another thing. If you look at your drawing and you think it's horrible, think it's the worst thing ever, everybody does that, okay? That is something that everybody does. No matter how talented with art you are, you're gonna do it. It's just something we do. You know, writers do it, singers do it, YouTubers do it. I look back at some of my videos and I cringe. So it's nothing that you should feel bad about, just everybody does it. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you to draw or paint or whatever type of art you do. Leave a comment down below telling me, number 1, what your social media is so that I can follow you. I don't know. And number 2, what your favorite type of thing to draw is, or what type of medium you use, or what type of artwork thingy do you do. Maybe you don't draw necessarily, but maybe you like writing, or maybe you like singing, or maybe you play an instrument. I'd really like to know, and I hope you guys enjoy, so I will see you all later. Bye! Also leave a comment if I should add cat ears to your video.